All right. Hello again, adventures, and welcome to another exciting episode of Traversing the Veil. Yes, this is one of my homebrew D&D campaigns set in my weird, messed up D&D campaign setting, and the people below me are all in the new year, which is cool.
Happy New Year!
Yay!
Yeah.
So,
Right.
announcements. We're going to start off with a bit of a kind of downer. Obviously, if you've been watching the news at all, California is currently on fire again. And I actually have quite a few friends that are very, very close. I've been lucky enough that the vast majority of my friends haven't even been in evacuation zones, much less in areas where they've had to worry about losing everything. But we do know a few people. Like I personally do know a few people that have had some bad things since this happened, and then obviously we all know of quite a few people that
Yeah.
have been able to deal with that. The first responders and everything have been doing incredible work under extremely difficult circumstances that are down there, and a lot of people have been stepping up and helping out. There's a restaurant that's been organizing food and giving
Like
people places to stay.
a lot of gyms.
Yeah. Lots of, basically all of California is kind of coming out to help in whatever ways they can. So, I mentioned this in my last Realms game. I'm going to mention it here in the Twitch chat. I've just put a link to the Red Cross Wildfire Relief website. Red Cross currently has boots on the ground in California. They're helping out. They're a wonderful organization that has helped out here. They helped out Maui. They've helped out repeatedly. They have a as bad as it is that they can claim this. They have a lot of experience dealing with wildfires and wildfire release.
California gives them a lot of practice.
Yep, they're remarkably good at it. So, it's a great organization. There are tons of other places you can donate, including a lot of people are putting up personal GoFundMe's to help to deal with it. I mentioned this on Saturday. I'm going to mention it here. This is not the time of year to ask people for money. Everybody in business knows this is the worst time of year to ask people for money. They just spent it all in December. So if you do have money, it can be significantly more valuable now than it is probably any other time of the year because so few people have additional funds. And we're kind of burning down all the rich people's houses, which is normally where we get our money from. So,
Good motivation for them to put out the fires, right?
So, if you do have money that you can spare, that it is always greatly appreciated. If you don't, there's lots of other things you can do. Imp mentions this every single time. Donating blood is such a phenomenal thing, and it helps so much, especially if
Blood
you
and
can.
plasma.
Plasma.
If you can donate plasma, because plasma is a lot more difficult to get. It takes a lot
I
longer.
used to sell plasma. Yeah.
So yeah, if you can donate blood, if you can donate plasma,
You can sell plasma.
and then
If
donate
that's
the
what's gonna
money,
get,
you know.
yeah, or if that's what's gonna get you in there, like plasma is such a. Sorry, hard
If
to
anyone
describe.
is unaware of what plasma is, blood is literally red blood cells, and it's really important for your body. Plasma is all the other stuff in your blood that makes it work. Like blood is great, plasma is
Plasma goes
better.
in a lot of medications.
Yeah. So
It's also more widely used with people who like have cancer or blood problems like vein thrombosis and like.
you can accept plasma donations when you can't accept certain blood donations.
Certain places are taking, like obviously taking care packages and all that. Feel free to look up most needed things
Yeah.
that are in high demand. Socks, underwear, feminine hygiene. There's a lot of different things that are in need. One of our mutual friends is like, hey, a lot of people, a lot of kids are homeless, and they could, toy drive donation might help too.
So there's lots of different ways that if you want to be helpful in this situation, you can. And I always mention at the end, if you can't for whatever reason, that's okay.
Word of mouth.
You know, a lot of people when they see stuff like this happening, especially something like this where you are so powerless to do anything about it, you can really start kind of getting into your own head and being harder on yourself than you need to be if you don't have a way, you just don't have the strength to be able to help with stuff like this. So if you can't, it's okay. You're not a bad person. You don't need to feel bad about it. There's lots of people that are doing what they can to help, and if you can't, that's okay. Don't put yourself into debt to do this. Don't put yourself in a bad situation in an attempt to help other people, because then you're basically just trading someone else's suffering for your suffering, and you're not actually making anything better. You're just shifting suffering around, and that's not a great thing. So anyway, lots of different ways to help with that. Like I said, the Red Cross is the easiest to find donation link that I found that I trust. Also, be careful about people asking for donations from kind of sketchy sources or telling you to go to sketchy places to give donations. As is typical for the world, people are taking advantage of the situation.
Yep.
Yeah.
So,
Fun fact, you can report people for price gouging.
well, I wasn't talking about price gouging.
Well, no,
but
I'm
sure.
talking about across the board. Like across the board, there's a lot of people taking advantage in different ways.
Yeah. So yeah. That being said, there are other actual good things that are happening right now. Bundle of Holding, one of my favorite websites in the world, actually has two different bundles that I just saw. One of them is a history of tabletop RPGs bundle, which comes with a bunch of books that talk about tabletop RPGs over the years. I think the 80s book has a foreword from the creator of Cyberpunk, because that came out in the 80s. The 2000s has a foreword
Mike
from...
Pondsmith.
There we go. Has a foreword from one of the founders of Paizo, which is the company that makes Pathfinder. So they're interesting. I haven't read them or anything like that, but Humble Bundle always makes good stuff. Then the other bundle that they have right now, or not Humble Bundle, Bundle of Holding, different company, still good. The other bundle that they have right now is a solo TTRPG bundle where they're basically guidelines that will help you translate traditional tabletop RPGs into solo TTRPGs, which are, if you ever read one of those Choose Your Own Adventure books when you were a kid, it's basically a solo RPG without any rolling. So that's kind of how solo TTRPGs work. None of the systems that they kind of show you how to play solo come with the core rule books for those. So you will have to pick up those rule books on your own. But if you already have things like 13th Age is one of the systems, or all the 2D20 systems by Modiphius, like Dune, and stuff like that. So if you already own the system, this is a nice little bundle to get if you want to be able to play and you're having difficulties finding a good group. We here have never had issues with scheduling or availability or anything.
No,
Yeah,
no.
never.
So consistent.
Yes.
On time and punctual. Very punctual.
Absolutely. Always punctual.
Start like a minute before and then go live right on the dot.
So, yeah, cool stuff going there. As far as other TTRPG stuff, I think Renegade, the people that make the Essence 20 games, I think either they've had what they call Renegade Con or it's coming up, which is basically when they just announce a bunch of new books. So that's a thing to look forward to. I'm a massive Renegade fan because the Essence 20 system in general is a delight, and I have had so much fun playing it. I have I have an entire series on my YouTube channel that I focus on Essence 20 stuff. It's great. It's a fun system. So, any other TTRPG related stuff going on right now?
I know the Griffin Saddlebag 2 is available on D&D Beyond.
Yeah, D&D Beyond is publishing a just metric crap ton of third-party content that I have stopped trying to keep up with. MCDM is on there, Ghostfire is on there, Kobold Press is on there. I don't know who publishes the Saddlebag one,
I should say, actually,
but they're on there, which is great. For a long time, D&D Beyond was...
the publisher is literally the Griffin Saddlebag.
Oh, so that's them. For a long time, D&D Beyond was extremely kind of gated off, and was exclusively just for Wizards of the Coast to be able to publish things on it. And now that they're letting all these third-party publishers in there, it's been great. Like, MCDM creates great stuff. Kobold Press thinks that they make really great stuff. And a few other books on there have been fantastic and wonderful. Critical Role has been publishing stuff on there for a little while now. So, yeah, cool stuff. Other than that, technically it's 2025, and Daggerheart is theoretically supposed to be coming out sometime in 2025. They've released the last playtest for Daggerheart last August, I want to say it was. So keep your eyeballs peeled. We may be getting a full release of Daggerheart. It'd be nice if it was in Q1. I don't know if it will be. I don't know how much feedback they got from Playtest 4, but it is definitely one of the games that I am watching like a hawk. Because the playtest material that they sent out was super, super cool. And they have cards, and I like cards. D&D 4th edition had cards, and they were awesome. And they released spell cards for 5th edition. I own all of them. They were supported for like a month and a half, and I got all of them. I was not...
Hey guys, I will be right back.
Gotcha.
Okay, don't worry. We can talk about cards and games.
Yes. So...
Yeah, like how people have been scalping Pokemon cards the last few years, and it's really ticking me off.
I saw Target put in a limit.
After the new booster box, the new ETA came out, so thank God.
I am happy that I no longer play a physical TCG because they're just so expensive. And then Magic the Gathering announced a Final Fantasy card set, and I immediately messaged my buddy who is big into Magic and has been playing since the 90s and go, hey, if someone wanted to get cards, not so much to play, but to actually collect them, what's like the most economical way to get as many cards as possible? Is it buying booster boxes? Is it not? Like, should I buy them individually? How do I go? And we had a long discussion where he's like, well, there's all these different things and booster boxes. That's another thing that drives me nuts. Magic booster boxes, there's no set price for them. You can't go, like, when a new set launches, you can't go, oh, I'm going to pay $150 and get a booster box. Nope. They are completely dependent on market conditions. So it could be $100 for a booster box. It could be $1,500. You don't know.
Yeah.
It is the weirdest thing that I can't buy a brand new product for a set price.
And even digitally, Pokemon's not safe. That's a TCG Pocket.
Yeah, I played that for a little bit. That's a weird game.
Yeah.
Anyway, so now that we have everyone back here, I think that is all the big news. January in general is not the time to drop big news. Again, mostly because nobody has any money. But we will see. So I think now it is time for us to return to Traversing the veil. The party has gone back in time. After Exelos was invaded by the Dragon Beholder's army, the party, meeting with their contact from the Assassin Guild Anonymity, went to a central fountain and were told by Esmil, their contact, to hold on to this strange device until it activated. Once it activated, they were transported. When they looked around, they saw strange things. The city, the portion of the city they were in, looked old, ruined. There were trees growing out of various places. And Arai instantly recognized a familiar feeling, knowing she was back in the Feywild. He. As they looked around, they saw two figures approach. One of them, a blade singer, wielding their weapon, trying to figure out who these invaders were. The other one, a ranger with a small boy on her hips. Arai, recognizing his parents, though much younger than he remembered seeing them last, realized something strange was happening and that he had become a part of a vanishing ruin. After meeting and dueling his father to prove he was who he said he was, the party now must figure out what to do now that they have been sent back in time. So,
I believe one of the last things Cedriel recognized the device when we showed it to him and he examined it. So I believe the lesson was his friend had disappeared. I don't know if that...
fantastic question. Hold, please. I'm looking for the right ambiance.
Yeah, and
Jody,
Ismail... Yeah,
sorry.
Go ahead.
No, you first. You were talking first.
Oh, and Ismail just woken up, and we were going to ask them what the heck. She
Yes, Esmiel's.
she got her hands on.
Jody, I would just like to thank you personally for having it like down where we were last session, because of all the time that has passed, I remember nothing.
Yeah.
So thank you so
I spent
much.
most of the day trying to remember what was going on, so...
Oh, okay then.
Jody, we
I
like
just
you.
watched the last videos if they're up. That's the secret.
Yeah,
Ah.
so, yeah, if I remember
Right.
correctly, the last thing that we did, again, Arai got a bit spanked by his father because bad rolls. But did well enough to kind of prove that he was who he said he was. And then Cedriel mentioned that he recommended, or he recognized the device, and then Esmiel woke up. And was there anything else before we cut to black?
Pretty much, he wanted to know where the hell we got it from.
Yeah. Okay.
We're all like,
Yeah.
DMs, when you're going to take a
Yeah.
hiatus from one of your games for over a month,
Talk to the player who keeps extensive notes. And what did we do last time?
I do not keep extensive notes. I keep notes.
or
Yeah, so do
write
I.
down
It's
the
notes
stuff that the players
comparative to
haven't
us.
figured out, so you don't forget why one of the NPCs recognizes something.
Yeah,
So we'll
and
deal with that in a second.
maybe watch previous videos.
So yeah, you guys have all kind of come back to the camp. You guys are no longer in the Vanishing Ruin itself. You've come to their kind of base camp. which, for practicality's sake, is always set a decent amount outside of the Vanishing Ruin just to ensure that nobody gets lost in it.
I don't think we ever got the name of the Tabaxi cartographer.
Great. We'll deal with that later.
Ah,
Um,
That
I
ain't-
don't know.
my name is Boos. In Boots.
yeah,
Me.
but that's what we based
My father.
the last Tabaxi after.
Yeah. Well, I mean, all Tabaxi are Spanish now. Besides, the Spanish accent is super fun.
No. Yeah, Spanish accents are fun.
So anyway, so you guys are in the base camp, and Esmiel, when you guys finally left the Vanishing Ruin, Esmiel was not doing great, but she didn't seem to be in danger of immediately dying.
Yeah, we got her stabilized.
Yeah, now she seems to be conscious. So, what would y'all like to do?
Yes, Mia.
Did you bring her food?
You feeling alright?
You see her take a big breath in. He goes, well,
Morning there, champ.
I felt better.
Good news, the device worked. Bad news, the device worked.
Gonna
Love
put it
you.
better
Yeah.
myself.
Yeah, we are in the distant past.
You see
And
her
in a
kind of-
completely different location.
you see her blink for a minute. She goes,
Yeah, we're
sorry,
in the Feywild.
excuse me?
Yeah,
We're
take
in
as much
the
time
Feywild.
as you need to process that. As they said, we're in the Feywild now.
And if you would like to see what my children would look like, I am a small child over there.
And she looks at you like like you've just said exactly what you just said. She's,
Hey, yeah, look over there. Walking
These-
daddy issues.
these
Yes.
meds must be better than I thought they were.
No, we're in my past. Yeah. Why?
I'm sorry.
Feeling Smegwix would have been more infinitely entertaining.
I must have heard you incorrectly.
Why am I catching strays?
Did you
You're
say
the one. You're the icon who's on top.
Did you say that you as a child are here and you've interacted with yourself?
Well, not intentionally, but it kind of happened.
I interacted with myself yet?
I don't think you've interacted with yourself personally, but you have interacted with your parents already.
Hold on. Hold that thought. And Arai walks out to find baby Arai.
No, that wasn't
Someone
an
get-
invitation. That
Someone
wasn't
bring
an
her in here
invitation.
before she destroys reality.
No, Batterai.
Get the squirt bottle out.
All right, I swear to the gods, Axe body spray coming up.
What the heck is that spy spray?
I'm gonna have to.
You're gonna invent it first.
No, there was some there was some alchemist artificer.
Ah,
There was a barbarian artificer that decided that he liked the overwhelming scent that he got after murdering an entire field of kobolds in the middle of a field of potpourri, and decided to bottle that scent and sell it as Axe body spray.
I don't know why.
Must
I thought
be,
you were gonna
uh,
say he really enjoyed the scent of masculine frailty
Fragility. No, that's a different scent.
and
I
flowers.
wonder if that bee was a friend of Ellerex.
Who knows, yeah? Masculine fragility was bottled and scented by a knight by the name of Thomas of the Hillfingers. So,
I heard the Dragonborn really fond of Dragon Noir.
so anyway, as Arai has gone off to find himself.
He never grows out of it.
No. Yeah.
Are any of you going to actually attempt to stop Arai, or?
Yeah,
there-
no. Prestidigitation, no.
Right, looks at himself. Why am I suddenly clean?
No, axe body spray. You catching the smell.
So anyway, Arai, you do have like 3 or 4 people that try to stop you and go, no, don't
Okay.
do that.
Spitwit flies in front of your face, like,
But why would you stop me? I am so cute.
I know.
Why
Yes.
didn't
You are
I?
also cute, but you are also you.
Listen,
Yeah, you are this close to invoking a time paradox.
temporal magic is outlawed in most civilizations for this very reason. No one actually understands what happens when you fuck with time. So
Yeah,
perhaps
that might be
Maybe I should
a
learn to kind
reason
of a
why.
good example of time magic.
Yeah, that might
Someone screwed
be
with time.
that might be a reason why Arai's parents have recognized what it is.
anyway, so we're in the Verdant Empire then?
apparently,
Yes,
and
we
suddenly
are.
a significant
Very
chunk,
much.
a significant chunk of the city too.
Well, that's interesting.
You should come and take a look. It is really interesting.
Yes, of course. As soon as I stop
The room
bleeding
starts spinning.
internally,
Yeah.
certain I'll
Take all the time you need to get your thoughts together about this. It is a lot to process.
Very
Right.
much.
You mentioned in passing that you're rather familiar with these vanishing ruins, you call
Yes.
them? How long do they normally last for?
It depends. It's not like there's a certain time frame. Like, oh, they're only here for 2.5 days. It's a risky venture.
So it's a lot like when an island pops up in the Vale or out of the Vale.
So, I don't suppose you know where they go when they vanish?
No,
Question.
no, that's not something we do.
Lovely. So, how do we get back?
Well, we can just wait. How old am I right now? A lot of years.
He starts like taking fingers out and he kicks off a boot and starts counting toes.
Yeah, I read a book
I don't
about
remember
that.
how old I
It's
was.
not-
It was like a number of years.
I read a book about a princess turning into a dragon and then waiting like 1,000 years just to give like a precious item to her love interest. That was not fun.
Well, we need to start coming up with a plan. And you see her start kind of lifting herself off her bed, and you watch her pupils go wide, and she just falls back. Oh, that was unpleasant.
Yeah, you need a lot of cookies and some juice.
I think for right now, my plan is to lie here
Okay,
and
we understand.
figure out why my stomach seems to have left me.
That
Because it
would
did
be
partially.
that would be the temporal magic right there. Just lay back, take as much time as you need.
Well, also possibly concussion.
There's also
Yeah.
that too. So yeah, lie down. Do not get up. Let us scout around, see what we can do.
Oh,
And-
Ismail.
Okay.
Ismail, you can meet my mom. He's really excited about that. You can meet my parents.
Yeah, unfortunately, like Smegwick pops over Arai's shoulder. Like, unfortunately, yeah, they will have some questions. They will want to inquire about the device.
Alright,
They-
looked at
they
you.
are
How
very-
the heck did you get up here?
He's got
Reggie Pop-
crazy
Standing
ups.
Reggie pops over the other shoulder. Yeah,
I'm pretty sure you're also leaning down.
Yeah,
Orion walked away. He didn't go
Damn it.
back.
So
He
anyway,
suddenly appeared over his shoulder.
Esmiel, at this point, like you can see her fighting to remain conscious, and she eventually loses the fight and just goes back to sleep.
Is she faking so she doesn't have to talk to the parents?
No,
Not that you could tell,
Perception check.
but she is remarkably good at lying, so it's possible.
Inside check. I'll roll digital dice. I'll search the new year.
Me. I'll roll insight.
Yeah, 15. That's probably not good enough for her.
God, I didn't roll well either.
Arai's gonna go and get his mom and just let her know that not only is she woken up, but she's unconscious again and might benefit from some food the next time she.
Okay.
She
So
Yeah, that's an 8.
yeah, neither of you guys have any clue if she's faking or not.
Yeah.
So
Starting off on a strong note with my rolls.
she, as you go to see your mother, she kind of turns to the small group that they have with her. You have the cartographer, obviously your father, and then they do have a druid that's there mostly to keep everyone else alive, an Eladrin druid. And so she kind of sends the druid back in to continue kind of working his magic. And she
Thank you for helping
brings all of you back out and goes,
you.
this is definitely peculiar, let's say.
Yeah, you're telling us.
What are you all going to do now?
Yeah, that's a very good question. We're still trying to figure out.
Well, we have some chicaner's intent, because we really can't go back to where we left at that exact moment.
Absolutely
Yeah.
now.
No, we were getting attacked by a beholder.
Multiple beholders. A lot of beholders. So
Yeah.
many. And a dragon beholder.
Uh,
Somewhere else, but
What?
not there.
What?
yeah.
Yeah.
we kind of found this.
Minor
dragon
illusion.
beholder,
Minor illusion.
that- and we kind of unleashed it on the world, but it wasn't our
No,
fault.
we
but
did not.
I said it wasn't our fault.
You said
We
we
just-
released it. It was not us. We did not create the explosion.
We
It was
just
the
happened
other
to be-
assholes.
We just happened to be coincidentally there when that all happened at the same time.
Yeah,
You know,
you were
I'm
probably
Sensing a lot of
saying
kind
that
of
even if
conflicting
we weren't in the
emotions
vicinity.
about your involvement with this, what you call it, a beholder dragon?
Boreal
Yeah.
Syrax.
Lovely.
How long has this cardiographer been on our parents' team? Our parents' team?
You're not sure. You personally, I can't remember. I'm gonna say you don't recognize them because by the time you were old enough to have memories, they weren't a part of the team anymore.
Okay. Were they made aware that we are not from this current timeline?
They were there the entire time we had the conversation. They might have overheard.
Yeah. As far the team itself is really small compared to the teams that you used to go out with when you were older. So there's only 4 of them. So there's a good chance that they all know why you're here. As you guys are talking, Cedriel comes over and goes, we need to have a conversation
Okay.
over here. Honey, Arai's a little bit fussy. Looks like he might be hungry. If you want to take care of that, I'll take care of these. And she kind of gives him a look that you've seen your mother give your father before when she knows she's being handled.
Mhm.
She acknowledges it, and she goes off to find Arai.
Hey, some looks are universal.
Baby.
And Cedro turns to all of you
For
and just
later.
kind of motions for you to follow.
Smegma thinks to himself, "Oh, he's gonna pay for that one later."
So he leads you guys a few hundred feet outside of camp into the kind of wilderness of the Feywild.
This is weird for Smegma. Last time he was here, like, he'll even comment. Last time I was here, I was running for my life.
Yeah,
Reggie's-
so it,
I mean,
So is it
technically we
like-
still kind of are.
I mean, that's a normal thing in the Feywild.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Reggie's like internally screaming because he's never been here before. And he's just like,
yeah, Aoi's taking it all in. She has also not been here, and oh, it's like,
Do not wander off.
yes, sir.
why would anyone want to?
Listen, all of you.
Alright. Yes,
You can't stay here.
I know. I
Agreed.
can't.
Yeah.
We don't want to.
No, I mean, you can't stay here. And he turns to Arai.
Yeah, the longer we are here, we're kind of messing things up.
I can see your mother in you. But you're not my Arai right now. And I have to keep him safe. And I don't know what having you around here is going to do to him.
Many things.
Now, we have a license for this ruin. We need to excavate it and search for treasure and other things like that because that's what we do. And you all can't be here for that. I'm not trying to make your lives harder or anything like that. I
We
don't-
just can't be messing with history, right?
and I don't have the knowledge to deal with this.
Well, but what we have to be careful not to create a paradox.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Hey, it makes
We
sense.
understood completely.
Here, and he takes a map out to show you guys where you are. Alandwil is about 2.5 weeks south. Faster if the Feywild decides to make the path shorter, longer if it decides it doesn't like you. We're still easily a month away from any of the fronts, so you don't have to worry about that. I'm assuming all of you want to get back to the sovereignty. I mean, I guess it's a good thing none of you are Aarakocra or wearing uniforms, but if you run into Verdant patrols and they find out that you're sovereignty, things are going to get a lot worse for you very quickly.
It might not get too. It might not go too well for us to run into sovereignty either.
Lovely. I'd love to...
Jody,
Yeah.
sorry, I just had a quick question about these Verdant patrols here because I can't remember if this is something we already know or don't know yet. Back in the present era where we all came from, the Feywilds, did they have any like allies, like also opposed to the Empire or something? Or do we know
basically,
that?
for the past few hundred years, it's been about 600 years since they started. All of the elemental kingdoms have been embroiled in what's been referred to as the elemental wars. Basically, the Tempest sovereignty, the plane of fire, the plane of earth, and the plane of water, all of them are their own kingdoms. Then the Verdant Empire is in the center of all of it. All 5 kingdoms are at war with each other.
Oh,
So
all right.
there aren't really. I mean, there are temporary ceasefires while, like, the Tempest sovereignty shares borders with the elemental plane of fire. That I can't remember the name of the damn place. Give me a second. That's not what I wanted to do. I don't want Magic the Gathering Arena on. It was right next to the icon that I wanted to click on. Okay, I think I should have a map, right?
I'm trying to pull up the map too. Tempest Sovereignty, to the quote
So
unquote
yeah,
north.
to the north is
Scorched Dominion.
Yeah, the Scorched Dominion. To the south is the Aqueous Realm, and then so the Tempest Sovereignty shares borders with the Verdant Empire on the east, the Scorched Dominion to the northeast, the Aqueous Realm to the southeast. So, yeah, the Verdant Patrols are just the standing army of the Verdant Empire, whose capital is Alandwil, which is literally dead center in the Empire. They're constantly going through the Feywild looking for anyone that might have gotten behind enemy lines and things like that. And the standing army of the Verdant Empire is incredible. Again, they're the only country that shares borders with all of the elemental kingdoms. So while Tempest Sovereignty is fighting 3 different wars simultaneously, they are fighting 4, and they're completely
Yikes.
surrounded, and they are holding their own. So, yeah.
A reminder that in our time we were told that they were losing.
Yeah, everybody says everything.
Different things.
Yeah.
Well, no, but that came from someone who was like, I can't remember who the guy was that came to Fetcherai, said we're losing.
Mm-hmm. Different people have different opinions on how well the war is going. Let's say it that way. At this point, no one is talking about losing. But again, you guys are some 20 some odd years in the past, so.
Oh, only 20 some odd years in the past?
Arai is not that old.
I was about to say, how old did you think I was?
He's
I-
still
I-
a spring chicken.
There's
Honest-
a reason why Arai is not the smartest kid on the block.
Okay.
For a hot
still a
second, I thought the
Fair
answer.
point.
For a hot second, I kept thinking the answer was going to be 69.
No, nice. Here we
Nice.
go. Already used that joke.
So, we have to stay until Ismail is safe enough to travel. We don't know what us getting away from these ruins is going to do. We also don't know, or we don't have a way to, if we do run into essentially like your hermit, you have a reason for being where you are. We have nothing to prove this mixed ragtag bunch of people are supposed to be here or not supposed to be here. Or more likely look like we're not supposed to be here.
Fair enough. I've been having conversations with Tobias, our druid. He's volunteered to take your friend away from the Vanishing Ruins in as safe a method as possible so that she can recover away from that area. I mean, you know us. Mother and I can handle one ruin without healing support.
Yeah.
And your mother's got plenty of spells at her disposal. We'll be fine. You see him, like, this whole thing is like really, you can see that he's extremely conflicted about all of this. You've never, like, every conversation you've had with your father, he's always been very kind of bold, opinionated. This is the first time you've seen him look so conflicted about a decision that he's making. Anyway, don't say goodbye to your mother. She's taken a shine to you. I mean, you are
That's
her
not
son.
possible. She will kick my ass if I don't say bye to her. You don't know it yet, but this one time,
Maybe if you
you
kid
know my habit of
se-
sort of getting curious and going places. Well, when you go places and don't say goodbye, and she, starts to have that panic attack, and then like find you, literally hunt you down. It didn't end well for either of us. Right, just like starting to really tense up. Like, no, this is a really bad idea.
I'll take the blame for it. I know how to handle your mother. This is not something anyone can prepare for.
No.
Should we take the device with us, or should we leave it here? Because I'm wondering if it served its purpose, and we'll need it to have appeared in some point, and it'll need to come around full circle.
Ismael is the only one who actually knows how to use it.
I don't want the device near Arai. Not this, my Arai. I mean, your but
Yeah, of course.
Baby,
Baby
right?
Arai.
Baby.
We
Baby.
know.
yeah.
Yes,
The
don't
the
worry.
Arai of this time.
You can just say Orion. I know who you're talking about. We know who you're talking about.
Anyway, take whatever time you need to plan. We have supplies if you need it. We can give you all about a week's worth of rations each. We have tents and things like that if you need it. I don't know if you travel with shelter. We always have extra.
See, I always wanted to get that scroll of the tiny hut, and I couldn't afford it.
Anyway, I have to
How-
get back.
How long have you been here? How long has this rune been here?
We started noticing the the fissures appearing, I don't know, maybe 6 days ago. The
And
ruin appeared when you all appeared. So,
Right.
but
Still friggin' weird that ruins our place.
well, maybe when I catch up to you, I guess, we can have a long conversation about this and figure out exactly what these ruins are.
Have Mom write really good notes. When you, in one of the temples that we go to, in one of the ruins that we go to, there is.
I can't be hearing about the future. I don't know what that will happen what that'll do.
I've already told you about it. We've already told you about it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe
Yeah.
we just stop talking about future.
No.
things.
So, if you happen to come across the mural of the dragon and the information, if you could.
Minor illusion.
No, you didn't see it.
I think we
This is
saw
the
some.
one. This
There-
is the one that I saw. Oh, no, you're right. It is.
Yeah, we pieced it together.
Yeah. Get as much detail as possible.
All right, but after that, no more future talk.
No more. No more.
Okay. All right, I'm gonna go back and piss off your mom.
Okay.
If you hear any screams of pain or agony, I'm fine.
He's got you.
Okay.
And he kind of wanders off back in.
Wait, where are they taking Ismail? You said away, but we kind of need
Uh,
her.
Tobias will meet you here with Esmiel and then show you where he's taking her.
So I think we kind of need to meet up wherever Esmiel's going to end up being. We can't leave her here either.
Right.
Yeah, obviously.
So he kind of descends back into the forest.
Guys, how cool is my dad?
Darling guy. Take care.
That's cool. I kind of feel like we should at least. I know they have the rights to these ruins, but I feel like we should look around in case something came with us or there is something left that will sort of give us an idea on how to deal with things. If there's anything else, like anything we don't recognize.
I mean, we can, but we kind of also need to we have to make arrangements with the druid. He's the only person that can care for Esmiel,
Right.
Yeah.
so it's not like we can go wandering off then.
No,
And-
we really can't.
Your
And I
dad's
think it kinda
handling
goes-
your dad's handling your mom right now, so it's gonna be a little weird if he breaks the news to her and she runs into us because
Yeah.
And honestly, I think it kind of goes without saying that if Esmiel kicks it while we're gone around here or something, then we are screwed. So yeah,
Yep.
I vote for talking to the druid first too.
Yeah.
Right. Well, Tobias is heading here with
Oh,
Ismail.
perfect. Then let's just wait here for a moment. If anything, I feel like one could argue that us just staying right here, not talking to anyone, is the safest option right now.
And by the way, Joe, I did send you a message. Just,
Yep,
just FYI. Yeah.
Processing that.
No, it's okay.
And whatever you do, don't step on any butterflies.
As far as you can tell, Imp, there's no
I was just
change.
wondering. Yeah.
There's no change to how it feels normally. Does that
Oh,
make
just at any
sense?
time. That's fine.
Alright.
So right now, it like you sense
Yeah.
nothing different.
Alright, so we haven't, truly invoked the butterfly effect yet?
Well,
We just snap and there's Homer and just starts smashing the shit out of everything.
There's no sounds of thunder happening.
Ashton Kutcher has not appeared yet, so
It's raining donuts.
You said Homer, and I
Bananas.
immediately thought like the
Simpson.
Odyssey, the writer. Like,
Oh,
yeah.
the
See, that was my
came
first.
down.
That was my first thought.
Yes!
Was like the Odyssey, really?
Yep.
Oh
Homer
no,
here.
you're talking about The Simpsons. It's weird that that's where we both went first.
Damn it.
As you're all sitting there, you suddenly hear movement in the trees to the north of you, and the encampment is to the east. So you hear
Oh, dear.
movement through the trees to the north of you, something kind of moving through the foliage very, very quickly, not particularly large. Like, you don't see trees moving or anything like that, but you can hear, like, branches being swatted aside. Arai, you would instantly recognize that this is not someone that knows how to move through the Feywild because you don't do this. It's a fantastic way to get killed. They seem to be running in your general direction. What would y'all like to do?
And just be like on guard and see what appears before us.
Okay. Anyone else want to do anything?
Well, I'm sorry, just to clarify, because I was making notations. So we're waiting on the druid?
Yeah, you guys are just waiting for
Yeah.
the druid
Okay.
to come to you guys and tell you where he's taking Esmiel.
If we have the general idea of the point... Because, again, it's like, from Smegwick's experience, how helpful are maps in this area? Or in the Feywild, I should say, the Verdant
So
Empire.
the Feywild in and of itself, and I guess Smegwick actually might know more about this than Arai, simply because as a Pathfinder and Scout, part of your training was learning how to manipulate the Feywild. Because the Feywild is partially like magic incarnate, maps are actually technically more helpful in the Feywild than other places, because if you think you know where you're
intent on
going,
destination?
yeah, if you're intent on where you're going, the Feywild will sometimes move around you to make it work the way that you think that it should. The Feywild is
And
very...
if you're running scared for your life,
then
interesting things happen.
yeah, things change. The Feywild in and of itself was not technically alive, but it very much changes depending on the people that are in it in any given place. That's why there are certain parts of the Feywild that you just don't go into, simply because there's really powerful people that inhabit that particular area, and it changes the entirety of the Feywild around them.
Is my
Oh.
pike doing anything?
Your pike is starting to... It hums, right? When bad things happen?
We ever gave it something
What
to
would-
do because we've never used it. Sure.
What would you like it? It can glow, like sting. It can hum.
No, it can hum.
Okay. So the rest of you probably wouldn't recognize it because it's like just like a background noise. But Arai, you instantly hear this kind of high pitched that's just getting louder and louder in your head.
Hey, Narai's gonna swing out his pike, and just sort of get prepared to defend.
Okay.
What's going on?
What is that?
I don't know.
Something not good.
Gotta find out.
Okay, do we stay or do we move?
It's coming. How fast is it coming at us?
Probably like 30 feet around. Like, Arai, you've kind of clocked this. This is a person running through the forest. So, a normal kind of, or I guess 60 feet around, a normal person, or 50 feet around, because they keep running into shit.
Alright.
Just a normal person running towards you. And you can be relatively certain that it's not Eladrin, because you don't hear Eladrin moving through the Feywild.
Yeah. So someone, like you said,
Was
not familiar
the
with
druid
Where's the face one?
was the druid Elijah as well?
Yeah, he's an Eladrin druid.
Okay.
Yeah.
Alright.
Druid is
Anyone
a ladder,
on-
the tabaxi is a
Choreographer
cartographer.
specs.
Yeah, anyone on Arai's parents' team would know how to go through the Feywild because it's literally their job. So,
Okay.
so as you
Actually,
go ahead.
if that's the case, can Arai kind of essentially like get close enough to like guess where he's coming out, or this person's gonna come out and like essentially hide?
Sure.
Does that make sense? Okay.
Go ahead and give me a stealth check with advantage. So you guys watch as Arai, kind of holding on to his pike, kind of looks around. What'd you get?
19.
19. Kind of looks around and then just starts walking in an extremely kind of smooth manner. Like, if you've ever watched like parade marching, how their upper bodies don't move at all. Basically, kind of this is the same thing. You just watch as he kind of glides and kind of disappears behind some trees. And
Walks backward into some bushes.
Yeah. And as soon as he does that,
Yep.
you guys can see like branches and stuff flying past. And you see little bits of smoke. And suddenly this fire genasi just bursts through. And not expecting to see you guys. Let's do...
Stupid question. Do I recognize this fire genasi?
everyone kind of recognizes genasi in general.
Well, no. Do I recognize? There's one very specific fire genasi Smegwick knows. Okay.
You don't know this fire
Okay.
genasi. Reggie, make me a deck save.
Oh no.
Ooh.
Deck save. Okay, that's my best one. 21.
21. So he comes barreling through, and by the time that you can see him, he is within inches of you. And without thinking, you just kind of step to the side and you watch him like fall right where you used to be. And he kind of looks up and he goes, "What are you all doing here?" And
Well, you look
he
down
gets
at him.
up and you watch as his fists just kind of burst into flame, and he gets into like a fighting stance. "I'll take
What
you all
uniform?
on."
What
Why-
uniform is he wearing?
He's not wearing a uniform.
Was it actually while he's down, can I like come out and basically hold him down with like his pike kind of pointed where he's on
I
the
think
floor?
he's already standing up.
Sure.
Right.
Make a grapple check for me.
Okay.
It'd be athletics for you. Well, I mean, you technically can use
Oh,
acrobatics, but
no.
you're not going to.
Oh no, athletics 22.
You actually rolled pretty well, but not that well. So he's sitting there and he's upright, like he does like a kip up and gets ready to fight before you're able to grapple him. So how do you want to? Do you want to trip him and put him back down on the ground? Do you want to hold him? Like what? How do you want to do this?
The idea of it was because we don't know like how dangerous he is or
Mhm.
anything really about him, was like basically coming out, and as soon as he hits the ground, or I wanted to just like kind of keep him
Okay.
down.
So he's about to kip up, and you just take the end of your pike and just kind of slap him in the midsection, which stops the kipping. And then you have it. You not heard that term? That's what it's called.
No, I have. I just love it.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's something that I
Yeah,
always
you-
wanted to learn. I spent years studying martial arts because I wanted to learn how to do the kip up thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Taekwondo, they don't teach you how to kip up. They never. I learned how to
Yeah,
do
that-
flying kicks and tornado kicks and all these cool things. They never taught me how to do a little kicky thing that makes you stand up.
Yeah.
'Cause that's not
you're in
Taekwondo.
professional
No.
wrestling.
I knew some
I took
people that could do
Taekwondo in
it.
college. I took Taekwondo in college. They don't do that shit.
No, but to be perfectly honest, if you're doing Taekwondo and you're on the ground, you've screwed up somehow. You're mostly... Actually, to be perfectly honest, if you're practicing Taekwondo and you're on the ground, it probably means somebody kicked you. Well. So, as he's sitting there, just kind of scared but kind of ready for a fight, you guys suddenly hear... and an arrow sticks into a tree nearby, and then and suddenly from behind you can see three Verdant Empire garbed Eladrin sitting
dear.
there with the arrows. They don't seem to be aiming them at you yet. One of them goes, "The name of the Verdant Empire, surrender." What would you all like to do?
Yeah, in the name
Where's
of the
the
Verdant
pie?
Empire, surrender. You absolute scallywag. And he's kind of like posting up behind the guys like, I don't know this guy.
Reggie's doing the exact same thing. Like, gets his arrow out, like, pointing it at the down guy.
Is he yours or?
We do not recognize any of you. Eladrin, they turn to Arai. Who are these people?
They are part of my crew.
And you're not wearing mercenary clothing. Are not displaying any sort of badge of permission to be in this part of the Feywild. Explain
We're-
yourself.
We're explorers. We go around to explore the Vanishing Runes.
You see him just roll his eyes. You're one of those. Lovely. Well, that
Would you like me to tell you about it?
is an escaped prisoner. You will hand them over to us now.
Okay.
And watch out for his hands. We've already had 3 people have to deal with burns.
Where did he
hasn't
escape
burned
from
us
that
yet.
he made it here?
Yeah. He doesn't seem
That is
completely
not
competent.
anything you need to know. He is my prisoner. You will turn him over to me, or you will become my prisoner as well.
It was a thought aloud that wasn't directed at you. Apologies. Nurai kind of like takes his foot off of, or backs away from the
Hey,
Genasi.
can I have us tell if this guy's just making an excuse? Cause, I mean, this fire genasi doesn't seem terribly competent
The
for
fire
someone
genasi,
who's supposed to be a prisoner.
the fire genasi looks to be maybe like 15 or 16. He's a relatively young kid. He's wearing
man.
civilian clothes, as far as you can tell. Smegwick, you have really, really limited interaction with the really computer. You want to do this? The Scorched Dominion. That it just you were never
was
at that
wondering.
front.
Yeah.
But you know enough to kind of recognize the Scorched Dominion uniform versus just civilian clothing. And you've met one fire genasi specifically, but you know kind of the clothing trends that they wear. Like this is a civilian,
No.
and you guys are like a month away from the Scorched Dominion front.
Just to be clear, also to convey, and if Spitwit has to relay the message, Smegwit's like, "Yeah, totally. Oh, you hoodle him," and he's posting up behind him because he's like, Spitwit's relaying like, "We can always light these guys up." Just saying.
I would say Spegwick, you would recognize because you've probably tangled with these guys before. These are
At the very least, I figured I would be informed about what these. Guys.
these are basically the Verdant Empire version of you.
Yeah.
These are Verdant Pathfinders.
This is the enemy.
So you've in the brief amount of time you spent in the Feywild, you probably had to deal with them. And these particular ones are the Verdant Empire Pathfinders tend to almost be exclusively Rangers. They have a few other types of people that get in there, but the Verdant Empire in general loves their Rangers. So these are just 3 Rangers. And one thing that tends to happen with these groups is they work in groups of 3. One of them almost always is a Beastmaster Ranger, and you don't see an animal companion anywhere.
Smegwick will do the relay thing with Spitwit.
Okay.
Did my pike start to hum louder when the Genasi got near us, or when the guards got near us?
The thing with weapons of warning is they just tell you when danger is coming. They don't really explain which danger it is. So, you're free to intuit as much as you want, but your own kind of warrior training, you're not really that worried about the teenage fire genasi that looks like he's trying to punch the person with the giant magical pike at his throat. I mean, punches, very cool, very useful in certain situations, but it doesn't seem that dangerous.
Still humming then?
Absolutely. Very much so.
Uh-oh.
So, What do you want to do? One of the pathfinders is kind of coming down out of the trees and is getting closer, and he seems to be taking out a pair of manacles to put on the Genasi. The other two still have their weapons trained.
Fuzzy.
Yes, they have pink fluff.
Oh no.
So what all do you guys want to do?
This is a civilian,
It-
and I'm really
I think-
wondering if this is the correct thing to do.
I
Oh, it's
think
not.
I think you guys know Smegwick well enough to know that he's not cool with them taking a civilian.
Yeah, Owie wouldn't be okay with it either.
Yeah.
He's kind of like,
Yeah, something fishy about this.
So he eventually gets closer, and even with kind of, do you still have your pike pointed at him, or have you backed off? Okay.
No. I backed off.
So he's kind of slowly gotten up, and he's still kind of ready for fight. And as the Eladrin gets closer, he goes like he does a punch, and another one he spins around, does like a back hook kick, and he's about to kind of jump up into the air for a jumping side kick, and suddenly one of the manacles just swings around like a flail and smacks him in the side of the head, and he hits the ground hard.
His punches and kicks, does he look trained, or does it look...
I mean, they're obvious. He's obviously had some monk training, but the fact that the particular attacks that he just tried to do were the wrong choice in this particular situation, like the absolute wrong choice.
Yeah.
So if
Yeah,
he's had some
not as
training,
trained.
it obviously has not been enough.
Yeah, about the same age as Owie, but not as much training.
Significantly less. But by the time
He's
Owie,
15?
you said he's 15, yeah.
Yeah, Owie is
He's a
15.
kid.
No, Owie. I didn't realize Owie was a baby.
Oh, yeah.
Orice got to stop hitting on you, honey.
You really haven't directed that much towards Owie.
Yeah, you've been more
it's mostly
cuddling
Thomas.
her.
yeah.
Yeah,
The difference with
Thomas.
Owie, like
Orice not hitting on Thomas. Thomas is a pet.
the thing
Exactly,
with
you've been treating Owie as your pet bearded dragon.
No,
Yeah.
we've not been treated as a pet. We
the
do not have
thing
a
with
collar.
Owie is from like a really young age, she was trained in Warcraft and wizardry. So compared to like your average like 16-year-old adventurer, Owie is exceptionally advanced. That's one of the
she
benefits
does-
to going to the academy that she went to in, is it Zeros? Is that where it is, or Sphere? I think it's Zeros.
Yeah, maybe.
Hey guys, I will be right back. I need to use the bathroom.
Okay. So yeah, this kid just doesn't know what he's doing. He just got smacked in the side of the head with irons, and now he's on the ground setting little fires that are put out very, very quickly.
I
due
don't
just
wanna
how
kick-
dense and wet the foliage is.
I was going to ask, but I haven't looked back. But a general consensus. I may need to do something immediately. How comfortable are people that this may or may not kick off in the moment?
Just do it.
Or, I want to get
Yep.
consensus because this may be...
Go with what you'd like. I am here to support you, partner.
Okay, well, I'm going to check it out. Well, Katie, if you have reservations...
God, it's a little kid.
Okay, Smegwick will... When this kid was... The scuffle was kicking off, Smegwick would be like, hey, none of that now, you! And he's going to kick off Fairy Fire, but he's going to leave the kid out of it.
Yeah.
But he's going to
Okay.
make it look like, ah! And he's like... He's directing the kid, but he's not hitting the kid. He's going for the other three in Fairy Fire.
Okay. So
Okay.
2 of the 3 are up in the trees, so you could hit the 2 in the trees or the one that's on the ground. You wouldn't be able to hit all 3 of them. So who do you want to hit?
Okay. So if it's that, well, it wouldn't make any sense if he did that to the tree. He will get the other guy on the ground.
Okay. So as you do that, what's the save?
The dexterity save, which I'm sure they're great at. Dexterity 17.
17. So yeah, as you fire it, he sees the kind of pinkish purple fluff of flames coming at him, and he just kind of does this backflip out of the way. Just watch what you're doing.
So he made it out.
Yeah, well, I rolled a 16 on the die, so
Oh, okay.
and they're
No negative,
rangers.
no negative modifier. Okay, sure. It was like, oh, sorry. Oh, yeah, sorry. He was too hoppy. I've never seen any battle. Never
Go ahead
field
and make me a
interaction.
deception check with disadvantage.
What? Why does it have to be disadvantage?
Because you aimed an attack at him.
I didn't. It wasn't an attack.
It is an aggressive
It's a fairy
spell.
fire.
It is
Fairy
an
fire.
aggressive spell. I consider that an attack. While this is going on, Aoi,
22.
Arai, do you guys want to do? He looks at you like you're a moron.
Mentally, he's like,
Is there any specific reason why you're going after a little kid?
Is he? Sorry, is the kid conscious or?
Conscious, just not able to get up right now.
he got his bell rung.
Yeah.
Right.
So it didn't knock him unconscious, but he's happy to be on the
Prone.
ground for right now.
Yeah.
When you ask that, Aoi, one of the rangers in the trees goes, "That's not of your concern, explorer. If you had any real skill, you could help on one of the fronts."
Just because
I-
we're not combat
can
trained
I-
doesn't mean we don't have skills. Like I can tell you all about this last Vanishing Ruin that I was in. It's a fascinating story. Would you like to hear about it?
That's great. Just put the manacles on him and get him back. And so now he's moving forward and actually getting the manacles on the Genasi because he can't fight back anymore. And then he takes out a bunch. He takes out a hobble and hobbles his legs as well.
Oh, I'm sorry. Quick clarification. Did we
Sure.
have a short rest or a long rest while we were doing the camp thing?
No?
Since it's a brand new year, let's just say you had a long rest.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Yay!
Okay.
I have no idea if you had enough time for a long rest, but it's a new
Well, bare
year.
minimum short rest, so I figured
You get a long rest.
Okay.
Thank you.
I will still mark off the fairy fire since it was today.
So, Arai, do you want to do anything?
Refreshed. Just sort of seeing like Smegwick's failed attempt at fairy fire when the guard says, put the manacles on him, or I will like go like he's attempting to help him. Like,
Okay.
put his pike away, but then start like fumbling with the manacles, like I've never done this before, and like dropping them and
Okay.
basically killing time.
Make me. Let's call this a performance check.
Okay. $17.
17.
Oh.
Have to actually roll for that. Yeah, 4. So as you're sitting there trying to help, you guys start getting like a Three Stooges kind of thing going on. Where he's sitting there and he tries to do it. He's like, "Oh, certainly." And you come in, you kind of hand him up, and he tries to put the manacle on, and then it puts the manacle on you. And you're like, "What are you doing?" You take it off, you put the manacle on him. He's like, "No, it's not what it's. Stop doing that." And he takes the manacle and he tries to put it on the guy's arm, but then you move his arm and he puts the manacle on himself. He's like, "Stop that!" He takes it off again and he tries
You told me to help. I'm trying to help. Just stop.
You're
moving
not
so I can help.
helping.
I'm trying. You asked me for help. I am trying to help. I've never done this before. Stop moving so I can do it right.
You're moving. I'm not moving. No, your left. No, my left. No, right. But there.
No,
And at the
but-
end,
Ah,
the
just
Genasi
stop.
boy is kind of like you're weakened at burning the Genasi boy because he's not completely unconscious, but he has very little control over his limbs. And so you're kind of moving around. And at the end, you have both manacled and hobbled the Eladrin. while you have somehow gotten the Genasi on your back now.
You okay?
Smegwick, seeing this,
Ah,
will look to one of the guys and
success.
go like, "Do one of you have a key? One of you got a key for this?"
And the Eladrin is looking at the manacles. He's looking at you. You can see, like, there's little bits of steam rising out of his ears. His face is bright red.
How far? So around us, we can still see part of the ruin, correct? Like we're in.
They took you far enough
far
away.
away?
Like, in general, you only have about 30 feet of vision in this part
Right.
of the Feywild because the foliage is so dense. So you can't currently see the fading ruin, but you know it's probably about 1,000 feet, let's say, to the northeast.
Okay. What can we see around us?
Trees, lots of trees, bushes. You're in, like, full-on, like, tropical rainforest-style jungle.
Okay. And is there dense foliage where it would be hard to like see through, or anywhere that?
The foliage is dense enough that, like I said, anyone in this area only can see to about 30 feet away. Your vision is limited to about 30 feet. So
essentially, I'm looking for something with cover.
there is cover everywhere if you want to use it.
Yeah.
Like
Trees
trees,
everywhere.
bushes,
Right, but there is a
Pitcher
flaming
plants.
Genasi boy, and I want
Hiding-
to.
Pitcher plants.
hiding a
Something
flaming
that's-
Genasi boy is going to be difficult.
I know.
Yeah.
That's why I'm saying I need something that can.
Make me a
Something
perception
secret.
check with disadvantage.
14.
14. So looking around, there's nowhere in the immediate area that you could find a place that you think you could hide this Genasi boy, especially hiding them from Eladrin Pathfinders would be a feat. But you think, again, if you can get further than 30 feet away from these guys, even with Eladrin Pathfinders, they're as limited as you are. Unless they have like Hunter's Mark on the kid or something like that. Once he's beyond about 30 feet, they have to track him. They can't follow him visually. Does that make sense?
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
So-
Since he is currently on Arai's back, how far away from the archers and the rangers?
The two rangers are about 20 feet away from you guys in the trees, and then the one that you have just manacled is about 5 feet away from you.
Okay, fantastic. So Arai's gonna like back up a little bit and see if there's like enough of somewhere with coverage around that's 30 feet away. Let me just double check what that is. The correct thing before I do it. Yes. And Arai's going to kind of turn to the kid on his shoulders and just say yes to this. Are you willing? Just,
And he just
whisper
like
that to him.
looks at you and he goes, "Yeah," and then at that
And
point he's out.
Oh.
Perfect. So Arai is going to tap him and face step him into whatever hiding spot. Because
Sure.
I'm spring, so I can face step a willing creature.
Absolutely. Make me a stealth check with advantage.
Oh, I'm glad I had advantage on that because it was first to 4. So, 20.
20. So you guys are standing there, and then suddenly, Arai isn't there anymore.
No, Arai is there. He is not.
Oh. Okay. So you guys are sitting there, and then suddenly, the Eladrin just vanishes. And
No. The Genasi.
or the Genasi, sorry, the Genasi just. I knew what you were talking about.
Okay.
There's a lot of
Wait,
different
the Eladrin-
things
there's
here.
like 4 of us. Which one disappears? Yeah.
No.
Yeah. So,
So,
I do- sorry, before he
Arai's
does that, I do
backpack
want-
vanishes.
yeah. So before he does that, I do want to like convey to this kid that, cause even though you said he's out, like before he goes unconscious, just to stay low and quiet.
Okay. So you teleport him away to, let's say, you found a tree that had a hollow in it that the angle was enough that they couldn't see that the tree was hollow, and just you kind of shunted him into this tree.
Okay. And Araya's gonna go, where did he just go?
One of the Eladrin goes, I thought you said he was... And he starts looking around, and one of the ones in the trees kind of comes down and kind of grabs Arai and kind of pushes. He shadow stepped. How could you be so stupid? I thought you told us he was an elemental monk, and obviously you are all so incredibly inept. I should arrest all of you right now.
You told us to do a job that's not our job. I was trying to help, and suddenly he vanished. It's not my fault. We were just trying to help. I'm sorry.
We couldn't possibly prevent something like that from happening. He's like, Smickers like,
I mean, who's even heard of Shadow Step?
Rai kind of just looks at Reggie like,
the guard said shouts up first.
when he says that, did that kid look like he had enough training to have Shadow Monk experience?
If he was any flavor of monk, he's an elemental monk. Like it was the fact that he set his hands on fire. That's a very elemental monk thing to do.
Yeah. So what? They're bullshitting.
Well, they're trying to explain how he was able to teleport, and
because he doesn't
elemental
have
monks
face-up ability.
can't do that, and Genasi don't have the ability to teleport.
Yeah.
So they're all sitting there, and the other one that was hiding up the trees gets down, and he comes and he starts taking off the manacles and the hobble from that, and both of the tree pathfinders look at him and go, "You, when we get back, you..." And the leader of the Pathfinders turns to all of you. I need to find this creature. If we see you again, we will arrest you. And then they run off into the forest.
We should really find a permit.
Come on,
No
let's
one-
see where you...
Nope. No one move. No one say anything. We'll give it a little bit of time. Everything is fine right now. Everything is fine.
Wait for it.
I'm willing to wait for it. Sorry.
As you guys are all kind of waiting for everything to kind of settle down, you suddenly hear a voice behind you. That was very impressive. And Tobias walks out, carrying the form of Esmiel on what looks like Tensor's floating disc. So, where did you stow the fire genasi?
Oh, let me show you. He's. Luckily, there was a good spot. He's safe. Arai's going to go and walk over.
So as you get over there, he's still kind of in and out of consciousness. As he sees you, he takes a swing at you that's really, really weak.
Okay.
And
it's
Tobias,
just gonna be like, "You okay, kid?"
and Tobias kind of comes over. Young one, be calm. This one has just risked his life to protect you.
If I may, and he'll Spigot will lean forward, and he'll prestidigitate smelling salts underneath the kid's nose. A little ammonia.
Worry not. And you watch him conjure a lesser restoration, and he touches the kid, and the kid kind of blinks. And he instantly gets into a fighting stance.
Would you stop that?
And then he sees a goblin yelling at him, and he gets very confused.
You're still in disguise.
We're not here to hurt you.
We're not disguised. Who's disguised?
When we were in Exelos, we were disguised. Not.
Did we get out of our disguises when we
At
were
this point,
set
if you
back
had a
in
long
time?
rest, you'd be out of your disguises.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that's true. My bad.
And he always looked like a goblin.
Yeah. So he's
Yeah.
he's just
Okay.
looking at
Goblin.
you, and then he looks at
Yeah.
Tobias, and he hits the ground.
Oh,
I think this one is going to be one I cannot
Oh, I'm sorry, that's
lesser
right. but
restoration away.
Spitwit is still a Tressum.
Oh yeah, yeah, little kitty.
yeah, kitty.
He goes, do not worry. That particular group of Pathfinders, we dealt with them about a week ago. They, let's say they are not the cream of the crop.
I noticed he let me shackle him.
That was very
Why?
entertaining. You will have to show me
Wasn't
how
it?
you did that once.
Oh, I will.
I wonder, were they making excuses when they said that this guy was a dangerous criminal? He doesn't look all that experienced.
I am not aware. However, it is fairly obvious he's not from the Verdant Empire, and that is enough for them to be. That is enough of a crime for them to arrest him.
Assholes are universal.
Ah, jeez.
Remarkably so. If all of you would follow me,
Walking while scorched.
if you all would follow me, this is not a particularly nice place to wait. Your father is many things. A competent guide through the Feywild is not one of them.
Yeah, I know.
Come with me, all of you. And he starts kind of leading you through the forest, and eventually you guys can hear the sound of water.
Arai's gonna pick up the kid.
Okay.
Yeah.
You guys eventually hear the sound of water, and eventually you're taken to this very idyllic clearing. Like there's this tiny little stream with a little waterfall, and you can see there's this big tree that is grown. It's two trees that have basically kind of grown together. And he goes over there and he kind of extends his hand, and through druid craft he creates a little kind of shelter over there, and he lays Esmiel down, creates a little bed of moss for her. So, I have been told that I am not allowed to ask any questions of you, but I am here to make your friend better and then kick you out of the Feywild entirely.
Yeah.
Obviously, I'm not going to do that. So, let us start with introductions. I am Tobias Tremender.
Ali Spotscale.
Is a tree mender?
Tremender, yes.
Briar said.
Smegwick.
Each other.
Reggie.
Lovely. And, have you all figured out what you are going to do when your friend is better?
Now that is a loaded question.
Yeah.
She
Most
kind of has
definitely.
more answers than.
It kind of depends when she wakes up and gets conscious, and we can clarify a few other finer points.
Well, I am exceptionally skilled in my craft. I am confident that, provided you do not attempt to skewer her with anything else, she will make as full a recovery as possible. However, my magic can mend the physical aspects of her body. The wounds have been closed, internal injuries have been repaired, but the strain on her mind, on her constitution, that is something only she can cure herself. It will probably be a few days before she is feeling well enough to move on her own.
Well, in the meantime, I can do that same trick too. He points at the disc.
Well, it is remarkably useful for carrying back various things, including copious amounts of loot. However,
Yeah,
this
that's
is
what the mom
not
said.
my floating disc, and he has a ring on. It has simply been loaned to me. If you have the ability to conjure your own, you are more than welcome to use it, but I strongly recommend not moving her anymore.
Okay.
Let's look at our new Genasi friend. So he goes over, and he uses more druidcraft to kind of create a little kind of reclined chair for him out of roots and other things. You seem to be familiar with the overpowering scent of smelling salts? And he looks at
Among
Smegwick.
other things.
If you would be so kind, I am saving my abilities for other purposes.
Yeah.
You watch him. He looks and again gets into
If
a full
you
fighting
put
stance.
your fists up one more time, so help me, Trickster.
Mm.
Put him down.
Who are you? Where am I?
You're in the Verdant Empire.
We're the ones who rescued you. You're welcome.
Bare minimum, we botched an unlawful arrest.
What do you all want from me, young one? Calm down. These ones here are not going to hurt you. As much as that one looks like he could hurt you, he is a teddy bear. Trust me. That one over there, and he points at Smegwick, I'm not as sure about.
Bite your kneecaps off.
And you see him, like you can see him finally kind of exhale for a second. How did I get here? It's a fantastic
That's what
question.
you'd like to know.
You were on the run.
But I wasn't. I was...
You were running from them.
This is so weird.
You're Scorched Dominion, yes?
Yeah, I mean... I'm not, like... I live there. But I'm not, like, with them.
Yeah.
So
just-
how did you get here?
I don't know. I had a friend. He joined up. It was dumb. He didn't know what he was doing, so I followed him. And he got into trouble, and I tried to save him. And then there was this really big guy with a really big sword, and I ran, and he was there, and then he wasn't. And then there was a big tree, and the tree was a normal tree, and then it wasn't a normal tree, and then it tried to eat me, and then it tried to hug me, and that was weird. And then I got away from it, and then there was
Well-
arrows, and then I was here.
Welcome to the Feywild.
I don't like it
Don't
here.
hug the ones that try to hug you. They're worse than the ones that try to eat you.
I mean, yeah, the Dominion is intense, but anything that's going to kill you looks like it's going to kill you. Like, it's pretty, like, what you see is what you get.
And
Or
not
some-
here.
Yeah. First off, let's start. You're a little out of order here. Hi, name's Smegwick, and you are?
You're not going to, like, take my name and, like, cast a spell on me or something, are you?
I'm
No,
not a
that
native.
would be me.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Not helping.
Oh,
Right.
I'm kidding, by the way.
I,
What name would you like to be known as? Although, yeah, it's good to be on guard.
I'm,
Yes.
A Bendigo. My friends call me Ben.
So we'll call you Kip, because that was cool.
Uh-oh.
He's 15.
So,
He is
I
my
said cool,
age.
not attractive.
where am I?
You're in the Feywild.
No, I mean,
You're in the
like,
Verdant Empire.
Verdant Empire's big.
Yeah. Yeah.
Where in the Verdant Empire am I? I mean, how
Now,
far
you see-
away is the
You see,
the
we're
front?
still trying to figure that one out ourselves. We're also victims
We're
of
kind of
circumstance.
displaced.
We're kind of in the same situation you are in regards to location.
You're about a
Yeah.
month away, give or take, from the Scorched Dominion.
A month? But I've only been here for like a day.
Feywild.
Yeah.
Hey, wild. Time is a
I
little weird
really
here.
don't like it here.
Get used to it. It's fun.
Abendigo, don't worry. Once I am done dealing with their friend, I am very familiar with navigating the paths of the Feywild. If you would like to return to your home, I can get you there. Who is he?
He's the person who was healing you.
I am Tobias Tremander. I am healing their friend. If you have injuries, I can heal you as well. I am a professional healer, and I am very good at what I do.
Yeah, those guys gave you a pretty good goose egg.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's not fun. Ow. Are all Eladrin that big of assholes? And he looks to the
The
two
ones in
Eladrin here.
uniforms. The ones in uniforms.
I'm
I
the only
shouldn't have
Elijah
said that
here.
out loud. Well, Tobias is an Eladrin as well.
Oh, you're right. Sorry. I was thinking the Tabaxi. My bad.
No. I
Oh dear.
shouldn't have said that out loud.
It's okay. I understand.
You got concussed. You're allowed.
You're a kid. It's allowed.
I need to meditate for a little bit, okay? So
We understand.
just
Not a
don't-
problem at all.
This is gonna sound strange. Where's the least flammable part of this area?
That's
Water?
a question.
Water and
We-
maybe
Not
not water.
Well, finer point, Tobias. Should we move from this location, considering the? Well, I guess maybe the Pathfinders wouldn't bother coming back this way.
This particular area is not exactly what you think it is. This is my circle. It appears
Oh.
when I need it. And anyone that wants to enter my circle without my permission will, let's just say, they will have difficult times. We are as safe as we need to be for the time being. If you are looking for somewhere without the risk of hurting any of the wildlife here, I can make a place for you. And he goes and he extends his hands out, and you guys feel this kind of rumbling sensation, and suddenly the ground starts to
T-poses.
basically till itself, and suddenly a large kind of dirt circle up appears. Dirt is many things. Earth is many things. Flammable is not one of them. Feel free. So the kid kind of goes over to the little pit, and he gets into a cross-legged pose, and he puts his fists together, and you watch as he just kind of alights himself and is surrounded in this aura of flames.
Passes a Rai. Can a Rai ruffle his hair?
Just smack his head. It's like smack your head. Stop it!
If you want to get burnt,
Run.
yes.
Okay, I was holding him, so.
Well, he got out of your hands, and
Right.
but
It's gonna happen.
Tobias turns to the rest of you. That was an interesting day thus far, and he looks up to the canopy, not being able to see this guy whatsoever. And the day has just started. Congratulations, your day seems to be very interesting.
Yes, we know, and sometimes there's
You
no
don't know the
start
half
to a
of it,
day.
sir.
It's all just together.
Well, if you would like, this stream here is always full of fish, if that is your preference. However, I will be making a vegetarian meal for myself. If any of you would like to imbibe, you are welcome to it.
Does it look like we're going to be here for a fair bit?
He mentioned that it's going to be a few days for Esmiel to recover enough
Okay.
that she can travel. So you
In
think
that
at
case-
least 2 to 3 days.
Okay, so Spitwit is just giving Smegwick holy hell,
Okay.
and is just like, "Wow, wow, 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 wow." We are running low. Fine. And he will do the ritual to resummon him as a pseudo dragon.
Aww.
Oh, now that's a familiar sight.
And as
Dun,
Spitwick
dun.
comes out
Baby.
as a pseudo dragon, Tobias kind of comes over and seems to like speak to him, and kind of turns to you, Smegwick. Your friend here is very spirited.
You
It
have
is
no idea.
impressive that you have formed such a close bond with him. I am fond.
Yeah, we're the best friends, you little asshole.
I am fond of pseudo dragons. They are a
Yeah, I
gift
am too.
from the gentle gardener. Well, and he kind of goes back to kind of prepping this really nice kind of vegetarian meal. So about 20 minutes later, there's all these kind of cut fruits and veggies, a lot of legumes, things like that. The Feywild gives much to us. Feel free to take of its bounty. And he sits down and he starts chewing on some like snap peas.
I grab an apple.
No, there's no such thing as a bacon tree.
I was gonna say
yeah,
that, eat them as well.
yeah. I take an apple. I slice it into I cut it into slices and I start eating it.
So as you guys enjoy your meal, Tobias just kind of sits there and kind of observes all of you without speaking. As the meal comes to an end, he kind of looks at all of you. Have you had your fill?
Yes, that was very good. Thank you.
Yeah,
Well.
appreciate it.
Very
And he waves
nice.
his hand, and a bunch of like squirrels and rabbits and stuff come and take the rest of the food and just disappear into the forest.
Ah, what the?
Oh!
Oh, would I recognize this as like Hero's Feast?
No, it's just a way for him to, like, again, because you guys are in his circle, he's able to control nature significantly more than he normally would be able to.
Oh, that's so cool.
Do you think we
Wow.
might have like a, since you seem to be one with nature or something, any kind of like, now granted, I know something about the Feywild and traversing, but yeah, anything like a compass or something that can point us, like a compass that works in the Feywild or something like that, or your foresty friends give us a heads up.
There are no compasses that work in the Feywild. Well, there are quite a few that work. They just do not point you in any direction that is useful. As far as helping you to get where it is that you want to go, the first decision that you have to make is where is it that you want to go.
Really, wasn't there that talk of that one village or something another? Was there a location that was mentioned earlier?
Alandwil, the capital of the Verdant Empire?
Oh, frig, never mind.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Alandwil in and of itself is effectively a mega city.
To be fair, that would be the one move no one would think we would do, to warn everyone about Corialstrax.
The city itself is basically the size of the entirety of the Kale Isles.
Oh God!
So it is
We
a
spent a
massive
lot of
city
time there.
that
Yeah, but Smegwick is again, he's fumbling with his arcane focus. Like, we probably don't want to go there.
think of it like a city the size of like a state, a medium-sized state. in
I was
the
about to
US.
say like
God.
Texas or
We talking
California,
Texas or
like,
we
where
talking
are
Rhode
going?
Island?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Let's go like
Are we
Wyoming.
going like Puerto Rico? Okay, Wyoming.
I mean, Puerto Rico is a territory, but
Well,
Yeah.
size-wise,
also I haven't the foggiest idea how large Puerto Rico is
tiny.
because they don't show
Yeah,
it on
about
any
this-
maps of the U.S.
He's tiny.
Slightly bigger than Rhode Island.
So something really interesting.
Right.
Just slight side note. With all the talk of Greenland and everything like that, I went to look up exactly how many people live in Greenland.
55,000?
Yeah, like the smallest state by population in the
Blah,
U.S.
blah,
is
blah.
has 10 times as many people as Greenland.
Because
just find
Greenland
that
is cold as fuck there.
Yeah, the vast majority of Greenland
And
is
there's
uninhabitable.
nothing.
Another fun fact: the vast
Gravel.
majority of Canada is uninhabitable.
Yep.
Like all of Canada,
Oh.
they just live on the rim for the most part. Same thing with
Yeah.
Australia. Most of Australia is just around the sides.
Yeah.
Almost nobody lives in the middle of Australia.
Yeah,
'Cause
do you
it's
know
death.
why? Yeah.
Yep.
Because there are spiders the size of your car.
Yeah.
Well, there's also
Because
like the middle of
Because it's
Australia is just a
Australia.
massive
It is a
desert.
death trap.
Yeah.
It's one of
Also, there's drop bears.
yes, there's drop bears.
Yeah, there's drop bears, there's cassowaries.
I should have gave Dale for her power instead of the Phoenix. I should have just given her a drop bear. Watch Dale never speak to me again.
Freaking.
Chapter spider. Sorry.
So anyway, Tobias kind of looks at you, wait, and goes, so where is it that you would like to go? If you would like to return to, well, I guess not return. If you would like to go to Alandwil, I can help you navigate there. Though I will say, while Arai will probably do fairly well there, and
No.
your young dragonborn friend here might be okay. They do not look particularly kindly on goblins.
Yeah. We may have to go to the Verdant Empire simply because we have to prevent very bad things from happening in our present, your future.
Lovely. Well,
Because we
I
sure as shit
think-
can't go to Aqueous.
I would highly recommend against doing anything involving the Aqueous realm. Having dealt with members of every elemental kingdom, I can honestly say the Aqueous realm inhabitants, particularly the changelings,
Those slitter throats.
do
Yeah.
not
Are
make
not
me
to be
feel
messed with.
well. I
They,
always get a strange feeling when I'm speaking with one of their representatives.
Oh yeah.
They are truly a particularly interesting bunch to deal with.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Now, I think our new Genasi friend has a fantastic idea. It has been a long time since I have been able to meditate in my circle. So if you would excuse me, I will experience nature the way it was intended. And he kind of wanders off to the other side of the little stream and sits down, and you watch his plants just start kind of growing into his cloak and things like that, and pretty soon he looks like a shrub.
Aw. So are we going in a few days or like right now?
Well, I mean, we're going to need to wait for Esmiel to
Oh, okay.
back up
Alright.
Adam.
Yeah, we need a
Yeah.
meal because she
Okay.
I'm
at
willing
least
to
has
bet.
some answers.
I'm willing to bet she's going to be in agreement though that we're probably going to have to go back to the Verdant Empire. I'm sorry, not the Verdant Empire. To go back to the Tepid
Yeah.
Sovereignty.
Yeah.
Yeah, to our timeline.
Well, that too, but also like we need to do a couple things. I think I got a couple ideas in my head, but I'm gonna have to wait for Esmiel to get up as well to see if that's doable. Since again, we are at bare minimum a handful of decades in the past,
Yeah.
because we really need. See, I'm worried about a paradox. I don't know if we can prevent Corialstrax and all that crap to happening, but maybe we can do something else that could turn the tide to our advantage. Because if these guys get any more of a foothold, we're really screwed.
Yeah.
So essentially playing with the past, if this is the past and not an alternative. And one more time.
I think somehow we ended up looping around on ourselves.
Alright. I think we are in the past. I don't think we're in an alternate timeline.
Well, it's quite possible that maybe we were always supposed to have had going to have been part of this. I hate this crap.
Yeah, this is kind of giving me a headache too.
You all give everyone headaches when you speak with them. You guys see Esmail is slowly becoming conscious. I have a headache every time I've dealt with you. Every single time.
Oh,
Not to be too
Oh,
indulgent,
sorry,
but
did
you didn't make her life a basket of peaches either.
oh,
Esme, I've never heard you tell me you have a headache.
She smiles for a moment. I used to be very good at my job.
To be fair, that's not our fault either. That was the Aqueous.
But things worked significantly better before I got involved with you all. Minus you, and she looks at Arai. You were fine. You'd think with command over nature, you could keep the temperature at a pleasant place.
Well, maybe pleasant for him.
One of you have
Also,
a
this-
cloak or a blanket or something? It's very cold here.
Is it colder?
You guys do start noticing the ambient temperature seems to be getting lower.
Arai's gonna take off his outer garment,
Hey, Tobias, you turn on the AC?
drape it on her.
Tobias isn't responding.
Is a Bendigo still there?
Bendigo is still flaming.
Bias' shrub still there?
Yep.
yeah, I guess Arai is going shirtless.
No,
Uh-oh,
he has,
wait,
he has,
uh-oh.
No. He has several garments that he wears. It's
Smegma
just
can
outer
suddenly
garment.
and it's like he's looking around because like, I know this is Tobias' circle, but we're also in the Feywild.
Huh?
And if shit shifts quickly, so Smegma's kind of like he's now got his head on a swivel.
Okay. As you're kind of looking around, you start noticing that you can see your breath.
Uh-oh.
All of you now are feeling very, very cold, and you start noticing that the light that's been kind of filtering in is getting darker.
I don't know what is happening,
Awesome.
and that is a problem.
Tobias!
You
Tobias.
guys can start hearing something in the distance. At first, it's kind of hard to pick out, but then you hear a very, very loud sound that Smedwick you would probably be more familiar with than other people's. It's a dragon roar. And suddenly the shrub that was formerly known as Tobias stands up and he looks around. What are you doing? And as he starts coming forward, he gets slower and slower and slower. And the flames that are coming, that are kind of enveloping Bendigo, are becoming slower, and eventually everything kind of freezes. And suddenly, you guys are no longer in the circle. You look around and you think you're still in the Feywild, but the trees here are very, very different. Instead of the kind of thick, kind of tropical rainforest area that you were in before, this is much closer to kind of a European
Like a
forest.
pine forest.
Not quite. Like there are some deciduous trees. There are some non-deciduous trees. But looking around, like you can see significantly further. And again, you hear the roar of a dragon. And you can tell it's probably no more than about 100, 200 feet to the west of where you are.
Does it sound like a dragon roar? Or does it sound like a beholder dragon roar?
Does not sound anything like the Beholder Dragon.
Okay, good.
Like this is a kind of standard dragon, and different flavors of dragons sound a little bit different. I don't think any of you. Well, I
Wait.
guess Aoi, with your history,
Yeah.
you might be able to.
Yeah, would I be in tune to the different like different kinds of like dragon roars?
Sure. Go ahead and make me a history check with advantage.
Smegwick has a
Okay.
feeling he understands why because of how the environmental change.
Okay.
I think he would know that.
Possibly.
14.
Okay. And what your particular flavor of Dragonborn? Are you metallic or chromatic?
I am chromatic.
Chromatic. Okay. So there's something kind of intrinsic in your bloodline that hears the cry of a metallic dragon and gets worried for a moment. With a 14, you're not quite able to place which version of metallic dragon, but it's definitely a metallic dragon call. They have kind of a brass sound to them in general because their scales and everything. They sound kind of like
Yeah.
trumpets or other brass instruments. They have that kind of timbre to their roars that chromatic dragons are much
Yeah.
kind of more feral sounding.
Yeah. Sounds like a metallic dragon.
Oh, he's definitely feeling like. Is it, would Smegwick know? Did that sound like
you
it was
can
in
make-
trouble or angry or?
You can make a history check. I'll give you advantage on it too with your particular experiences.
While he's doing that, does Arai have an idea of where they could be in the Burden Empire?
Dragons are not particularly common in the Verdant Empire in general, especially metallic dragons. Dragons in general are native to the prime material plane, and there's only one way to get here, and that's in the center of Alandril. So not a whole lot of dragons come in.
Right, so I'm just asking, like, not if I can find the dragon's location, where we are. Like, if I can recognize the terrain.
Make me a history check. Just a flat check for this.
23
23. Remind me what you were making your check for.
history,
Okay.
because it's like, do I know what the situation with the dragon? Is it looking a bad situation? Is it angry fighting?
It's a combat roar.
So it's fighting was.
It's fighting
And
something.
Smeg was like, "Shit! I think we have to go help the thing."
Okay. 7 total. Yeah, you know that there's a few areas of the Feywild that has more kind of coniferous and deciduous trees in it than the more tropical. But as far as being able to pick out which part of the Verdant Empire you're in right now, it's a bit of a crapshoot. Especially since, again, randomly, parts of the Verdant Empire will just move.
Yeah.
Esmiel is with us, yes.
Yes, Esmil is on the ground. You can see one of the wounds that she has that was healed seems to have opened slightly. She's not in any danger of dying or anything, but her shirt is now starting to become red. She's just sitting there and goes, son of a bastard.
Like, she
Reggie,
popped a
hurry!
stitch, or like it
Like just a wound that hadn't completely finished healing has opened again.
Okay, it wasn't like it
Um,
reverted back or anything. Okay.
Yeah, no. So what do y'all want to do?
Crap. Smegwick is now. He's kind of like. Fuck, we need to go. Okay. Like it looks to Esmiel, yells out a punch like, "Fuck!" No, calm down. Okay, we need to. Okay. I think we need to go help whatever. If that is a metallic dragon, it would need our help. We basically need all the odds we can get, and if we're in the time I think we are, it's necessary.
Okay, I trust her.
All right, let's go.
What do we need to do to treat Esmiel?
We have bandages still.
Yeah, you guys can just bandage up. Again, the wound is not life-threatening or anything. It's just bleeding.
Unfortunately, now we got separate. Like
Like
now,
a quick cure wounds would close the wound well enough that you could move.
boy, that'd be lovely, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
We have anyone with cure wounds.
Reggie?
Yes.
Yeah,
got cure wounds?
Let me see. Do I?
The last time I checked, it was fucking Crexney.
Crexney,
I do have cure wounds.
I think Crexley just used it more often.
Ah,
To be fair, Reggie got knocked the fuck out a lot, so
yeah,
I am still quite squishy.
and Reggie
Yeah,
was playing
protect
more
the
rogue as well,
squishies.
so
So if you want to real quick cast a cure wounds, it'll get her to the point where you can move her.
and just to confirm, now that we've been shifted, Bendigo and Tobias
They're
isn't
gone.
even in sight. They're gone.
Yeah.
Okay, fucking Feywild. Okay,
All right, gonna use cure wounds at first level.
Okay. So the wound heals. No need to roll anything. The wound heals enough. Esmail is like, go. I'll be fine enough.
you can
okay.
keep up with us, but
Arai
we're not.
picks her up.
Yeah, no one gets split up in the Feywild.
No.
Fine. And she just kind of cuddles into your chest. I'm fine. Where
Your
I am.
boyfriend's more than strong enough to carry you any way you want.
So-
I'm not our boyfriend. We're not that committed.
Yeah.
Hashtag is complicated. Whatever.
Come
So
on, let's
again,
go.
the another roar comes from the west. Again, roughly about 200 feet to the west.
Way to go.
Okay. So as you guys go, you eventually come to kind of like an edge of a clearing, and the ground below you just kind of drops into a about 50-foot cliff. And at the bottom of it, you can see kind of a grassy plain. And a large copper dragon is
Ooh.
being attacked by something you can't quite identify. It's seemingly made up of some kind of sludge or something like that. It at times looks bipedal and then quadrupedal, and then a couple extra legs of some sort will come out of it. And the dragon looks to be holding its own relatively well. But every so often, this creature will like launch portions of its self. Will launch portions of its self at it, and whenever the sludge kind of gets onto the dragon scales, the interesting thing about copper dragons, the interesting thing about copper, is copper dragons when they're young look like copper. They have that kind of
Rusty.
sheen. The older that they get, the kind of their color actually changes to kind of that blue-green copper oxide. And whenever one of these bits of sludge kind of hits it, you watch as the oxidation happens incredibly fast, and you start seeing these bits of like bluish white growth just start growing really fast.
Oh, dear
and then
Lord.
chunks of her scales just start falling off and dissolving.
Oh,
Nope. Bad. Okay. So, big dragon, large ooze.
Yeah, easily. Probably at least as large as the dragon.
Okay, Zegathan's gonna go leap this direction, so so not also.
And
in
you guys are about
oozes.
you guys are about 50 feet up.
Oh, I
yeah,
understand.
Okay.
I understand. So he's picking a direction
Mm-hmm.
that we're okay. 1, 2, 3, jump,
Okay.
and he's gonna
Arai
go there.
jumps.
Okay.
So sorry, I want to ask: if you were face stepping while falling down, does the momentum carry with you?
DM's
Good
call. I've had this.
question.
I've had this question.
Um,
Or do you need to aim
Tell-
the trajectory?
teleportation, you stop existing in one place and you start existing in another place. So any
Right.
momentum you had would stop.
Technically stop.
Yeah, because you just, it's not that you were going through, if you were going through a portal,
Yeah.
then momentum would carry, but you're not. You
Right.
just stop existing in one place and start existing in another. So I would say
Right.
that momentum would not carry.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, jump.
Jumps.
Ah!
And
No, with this man.
does everyone jump?
I do.
Yes.
Cool. Everyone jumps.
Spec would cast Featherfall.
Okay. So you guys are slowly, like you start falling and then
So
suddenly
yeah, he picked your trajectory.
You slow it incredibly. And you now are just kind of gliding down. Are you going towards, was your intent to go towards the fight or
Towards
around
a fight,
it?
but not dead center. So we're like.
So you're not like
so,
paratrooping
like,
onto the sludge.
yes, yeah. So we're like off to the side. Like here's the the fight, and then we're like here,
Okay.
as opposed to right there.
So you guys are going down. It takes you the better part of like 20 seconds to get all the way down.
And Smegwick is going to do what may seem very stupid to everybody else. He's going to yell in Draconic. Don't want to blast it. We're coming!
Okay.
Aoi takes notice of this, because, you know, she shares his language.
Unfortunately, though, that is where we're going to end it for today. As always, if you missed any of this, I do upload all these to my YouTube channels, youtube.com/TraderJody. I am now in my second year of daily vlogging, so if you want to see random stuff I'm doing, I've just started a new series as part of my daily vlog, talking about, from a business aspect, how to turn your hobby, like YouTubing, into an actual job, and how to, like, I'm eventually going to talk about things like how to form an LLC and what kind of business you're supposed to think. All of the boring stuff that creatives don't like to deal with, and because they don't like to deal with, they get in trouble a lot. I'm going to be talking about that. So if that's something that interests you, I also talk about other random shit. Like I just had a video a few days ago where we theory crafted a Stardew Valley style TTRPG. So the weird stuff that goes on my daily vlogs. Anyway, again, that's all for me today. I will see you guys next time. All right? Bye-bye.
Bye.